This is Nigel McGuinness, Ring of Honor Superstar, and you are listening to WNS Podcast. Stay tuned, wankers.
You're listening to the official Wrestling News Source podcast. For all of your information, go to WrestlingNewsSource.com or check us out on Facebook by searching WrestlingNewsSource.com or WNS Podcast. You can also find us on YouTube, Twitter, Stitcher, and iTunes by searching Wrestling News Source Podcast or WNS Podcast. Now being broadcast in over 45 different countries, here are your hosts, Daniel Herron, Tyler Abear, and Doug.
That's right. What's up, everyone? I am Daniel Herron.
Hey, hello. I'm Doug.
And we'll welcome you to episode 238 of the official podcast for WrestlingNewsSource.com. For all of your information, go to WrestlingNewsSource.com. Check us out on Facebook, WrestlingNewsSource.com. You can find us on Facebook, WNS Podcast, on YouTube, WNS Video, and on iTunes, Stitcher, Beyond Pod, and Player.fm by searching Wrestling News Source Podcast.
Hey, hello.
Hi.
The podcast is on Twitter. It's at WNS Podcast. Daniel is on Twitter himself at WNS_Daniel.
Yeah, I am. So welcome to the show. No Tyler once again out on missions doing the good deeds of a bear. So how you doing, Doug?
I'm alright, man.
Yeah.
What's up with you? What have you been doing? What are you up to?
Oh man, I'm ready to get this week over. I'm ready to get next week over as well. It's gonna be a hectic weekend for work. We're gonna have our big expo that we're putting on, and it's gonna be
What's an expo?
sort of like a convention.
Cool.
Yeah.
You gotta like rep the show at a booth or anything?
I have to help set everything up, and then I have to help tear everything down, and then be at the event while it's going on.
So you're not repping us at a booth or anything?
No. Sorry.
It's alright.
It's for babies and families. So.
Fuck them.
Yeah, I'm not sure quite our demographic. So welcome to the show. Got lots to
Just
talk
walk around plugging earbuds into babies.
Yeah.
ears.
Hey, listen to this. Hey, you need to grow up listening to our show. So, got lots to talk about. We're going to talk about feedback, Raw, give our predictions for NXT Takeover, as well as SummerSlam, the huge show. Also some Q&A. So welcome to the show. We'll kick things off with some feedback from Jamal saying, hey guys, love your stuff. I reckon you guys have the best minds for not only WWE, but in wrestling in general. But you guys should do more Impact stuff, even though it's shit. I just want to hear Doug's and Tyler's takes on how it would be better. But like I said before, great work. You can always count on me as a viewer. So thank you, Jamal.
Yeah, thanks, Jamal. That's far too sweet of you, my man. But yeah, I'm pretty sure Tyler doesn't watch Impact either. I think I'm the only one who watches Impact, and I'm a little behind myself just because, G1 16 shows this fucking month or a month and a half or whatever.
That's crazy.
It's good shows though. But yeah, my sort of thing with
I don't have the best mind in wrestling, but
yeah, that's a really nice thing to say, but it's not correct. We're just some dudes talking some bullshit. I don't know. My whole thing about like talking about stuff is I don't want to sound like I'm monologuing. I don't want to just be like saying things I think about a show. I just want to have a little go back and forth, and if we can't do that, it's just not something that we talk about. So yeah, sorry, my man, it's probably not going to happen. If Daniel and Tyler ever catch it a week, then we'll talk about it that week or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I just it is what it is.
Maybe I'll try and watch it. And that's the thing, is that it happens on Wednesdays. We record the show on Tuesdays, so it's like you're waiting a full week for us to talk about what happened last week.
Sure.
But by the time the show airs, it's already time for a new episode, which immediately outdates it. But
yeah, the show won't come out till Wednesday, but
yeah. So
it's a new episode. By the time you hear it, you'll already have seen the new episode of
more than likely. But
Impact.
Yeah, Jamal, we appreciate you listening. Thank you very much for giving us a chance, and thank you for the kind words. We do appreciate it.
Thanks for giving a fuck about what we have to say.
Yeah. So really cool. Let's talk about Raw, the go-home show before SummerSlam. Didn't really sell me on the pay-per-view, I'll tell you that much. There were some enjoyable parts. There were some parts that kind of strung along.
Thought it was fine.
Yeah. It wasn't a terrible Raw, but it wasn't anything fantastic either. We kick things off with the Authority cutting a promo on SummerSlam, letting us know that it's happening this Sunday. Here's some of the matches. Here's the cost for it. Here's where you can watch it. Same old stuff that you already know, basically. It's just kind of a way to kill. I've dedicated the first 20 minutes of Raw to promo time to do whatever.
Well, see, I wouldn't even consider this a promo. This is just them like shilling. This is them just like outselling the show.
Yeah.
Which is what it is.
Yeah.
You find it a waste of time, then you find it a waste of time. If you're okay with it, then you're all right with it.
I mean, it's them basically letting everyone know where they can watch it, and the price and some of the matches. So, yeah, shilling is a good term, or it is the term for it. So, the first matchup we get to see Randy Orton teaming up with Cesaro to go up against Kevin Owens and Sheamus.
Hey, well, did you, what was up with Cesaro trying to do the flip over the ropes that he always does?
Oh, man.
The dude's awesome, but he just totally fucked that up so badly that Owens had to like help him over the ropes to the other side. I don't know, it's pretty crazy.
Yeah, that was a pretty bad timing error on Cesaro's part. There was also one on Orton when he tried to go for the RKO and flubbed it and then hit another, it was at the end.
Right.
But, I mean, the match itself, aside from those, it was enjoyable. The crowd was into it.
By and large, it was totally fine.
Yeah. Just a couple of flubs. There were a few flubs in this Raw. There were some in the Divas match as well that I noticed. But yeah, Orton and Cesaro end up getting the victory after Cesaro holds Owens to keep him from breaking up the count. Next matchup, we got to see Roman Reigns going up against Luke Harper with Dean Ambrose sitting at ringside, Bray Wyatt sitting at ringside. What did you think about this matchup?
I thought it was fine. It felt like the focus was a lot more on Ambrose, just not in the same way that when guest commentary, like so often guest commentary will make it not about the match, but in a way that's almost like completely separate from the match. Mm-hmm. At least it was like,
there's my guy.
Yeah, adjacent to the match. And so it was a little different. It was still pretty distracting because they focused on it a lot. So I don't know. I find it hard to recall anything other than like Ambrose, talking about Bray.
Yeah. It was, I mean, and they put over both Roman Reigns and Luke Harper, saying these are two big guys who will duke it out. Neither one of them want to give up. And it was sort of a slow pace to begin, but the second half of the matchup, I was totally enjoying. I thought it was very enjoyable.
That's Roman's style. He's not going to work a sprint with anybody.
Right. And I felt that Harper was a very good fit for Roman Reigns because they were just going toe-to-toe and who's going to hit harder and who's, neither one of these guys are going to take the pinfall. And the ending was a little bit rushed. I would have liked to have seen Roman get a little more momentum before it was just Superman punch into the spear, into the cover, 1, 2, 3.
Yeah, it was real uninspired.
Yeah.
He usually lays those in, and he just didn't this week.
Mm-hmm. But it was one of those, I was digging a lot of the spots in the matchup. And
yeah, Harper's real versatile. He can
work with just about anybody.
He can work like a brawl with a guy. Like Roman's style is pretty much brawling. He can also do like a high spot sprint with somebody if he needed to.
Mm-hmm. So really good stuff, but Roman Reigns does end up getting the victory. The next matchup I did not get to see because I was on a delay. I was about 20 minutes behind, and Ben had asked me to take over the Twitter, and so I'm like, oh crap, if I'm going to be doing that, if I'm going to be doing live tweeting, I need to be watching the live programming, so
right.
I had to skip over it. Did I miss anything important?
No, I mean, Becky
Lynch and Tamina.
Becky got about as good of a match as you're going to get out of Tamina, which is to say it was completely fine. Nothing to go out of your way to see, nothing to take away. Just Becky got a not so bad match out of Tamina.
Okay.
That's about it.
Yeah, and Becky ended up getting the victory. After that, we got to see Rusev defeat Mark Henry again, this time by submission.
Why are they calling back to the flag thing so much?
I don't know.
They're sort of over that whole thing, right?
Yeah.
He's already denounced Russia and is back to Bulgaria or whatever.
And I saw a comment where it's like, was Jack Swagger not doing any? Like, was he tied up this week, or what's the deal? I mean, poor Mark Henry.
I don't know, man.
It's a terrible use of him.
Well, I think they sort of see him as a guy who's injury prone, so they're scared to do anything of significance with. When he's given a little bit of space to run, he always delivers.
Yeah.
They're just afraid to let him run. Same thing with like your Barretts and
he's getting
your
up there in age. And
sure, he's a bigger dude. He's an older dude. I mean, quote unquote older. He's not like an old man. He's getting older.
Yeah.
And same thing with Ziggler and Barrett. They're afraid to let those dudes run too hard because they keep getting injured at key moments.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know.
Yeah, but Rusev ends up getting the victory. Lana was on commentary. They've had a lot of guests on commentary in these past few weeks. I know they're building up towards SummerSlam, but it's just something that I've noticed. They've had so many matches in the past few weeks of Raw where someone was on commentary with the commentary crew. Whether it be tag matches, whether it be Lana, whether it be, Bray Wyatt, or not Bray Wyatt, but, Dean Ambrose. And
yeah, just speaking about SummerSlam in general, do you feel like they've done a good job of making it like the Mania of the summer? Because I do, because I don't know that I want another WrestleMania, but I feel like if that was their intention, they did what they would do for Mania for SummerSlam. They have like a guest host. They have a 4-hour show. They got to tie in with like ESPN and all this other crap. So they went all out. I don't know that I can tolerate the excess of WrestleMania for WrestleMania. I don't know that I need multiple WrestleManias.
right.
But if they're trying to make the special events mean more, they're at least putting forth the effort, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, they are putting in some effort. I don't feel like they put enough effort into the match quality.
Yeah, but did you feel that for Mania even?
Well, that's a good point because all right, for 30, there was the stories. They had the stories tell themselves. 31, we all went in with low expectations and walked away going, man, that was one of the best WrestleManias I've ever seen. So it's, I don't know.
I think they did a killer job.
Well, yeah, because they're like, oh, look, we got ESPN talking about us. Oh, look, Brock Lesnar's on here. Oh, look, media is talking about it.
Did you watch any of that shit? Because I didn't.
Hell no. No.
Well, I mean, aside from working all day, like I don't know, like
I work for a living. I don't have time to watch all that.
I didn't read a report or anything. I didn't know what the fuck he was doing. He was just like hanging out on ESPN, shooting the shit.
Calling out Dana White, I guess, saying, "Hey, Vince knows how to promote, unlike you."
Oh, I'll take that back. I did read that, but yeah. I don't know why he. I mean, aside from promoting SummerSlam, I don't know what he was doing on the show. Was he talking about other sports? I don't know.
Just there to promote, I guess. And they talked about his, UFC career. And
well, he's they have, I guess, seen it on the Today Show or something.
Yeah, he's guest hosting. He did that, I think, 2 days, Monday and today.
So they're shooing them out to all those big media appearances they usually do around Mania time. So
yeah. I don't know. I mean, it doesn't feel like it's that big to me.
Well,
I just feel like they're saying, "Hey, look what all we're doing. Here's where all we can be seen."
Well, the sort of like attention they're putting into SummerSlam is not the sort of attention that I need to be paid. I need a different sort of attention to be paid to SummerSlam. They're paying the WrestleMania attention, which is their stated goal of saying we're making this like the Mania of the summer.
Yeah, they're trying to get extra viewers in this is how I feel. They're trying to get extra viewers. They're getting the guy from Arrow. They're getting Jon Stewart, who's making his first live appearance since leaving the Daily Show. That's all of what that's for. That's there for TMZ to cover. Say, oh, Jon Stewart was at SummerSlam.
I think I stand by the fact that Stephen Amell is a good crossover. That's
absolutely. He's doing a good job.
But
he wants to be there.
It's the like paint by numbers of WrestleMania. Like we get a guest host, we get a celeb appearance, we get. Are
we gonna have a musical performance?
We get big media publicity. We got part timers doing the big match. We got whatever. It's like they have the checklist of what they think a big show is, and they're checking off the boxes.
Yeah. I don't know. It's just, to me, I'm more focused on the stories that's being told.
Me too, and I feel really underwhelmed by them.
Mm-hmm.
I like Jon Stewart. I'm a fan, but he doesn't mean fuck to me when it comes to SummerSlam.
Like, what is he gonna do? He's gonna come out, cut a 20-minute. He's gonna talk for 20 minutes, and then we'll see him in backstage segments.
Well, I don't think they'll give him 20, but
well, you know what I mean, a 10 or 15
sure.
or something where he comes out and he talks about how it's great to be here. So are you all ready for SummerSlam? Yeah, I can't wait, and blah 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 blah. And if Seth Rollins were here right now, I'd show him what for. And
I guess my only point in even bringing him up is that if I am a Jon Stewart fan, and if he doesn't mean anything to me that he's here, then who does he mean anything to?
Right. Like, are fans of Jon Stewart going to pay $54 or even $10 to say, dude, let's see what he's doing at SummerSlam?
I doubt it.
Yeah. So
I think your argument's better with Stephen Amell.
Absolutely. Because you know he's going to be in the ring.
Well, I think that people who tune into Arrow can find in SummerSlam what they tune into Arrow to see.
Right.
You can see, like, there is lines to be drawn between the two. Like, whatever you can find in Arrow, you can find in WWE.
Right.
I don't know that people who tune in to see Jon Stewart can find that in the WWE.
Right.
It's just not what they do.
Yeah. So, I don't know. It's just, I don't feel like the pay-per-view itself is that strong. I mean, yeah, you've got Lesnar and Undertaker. You have some decent matches in there.
I think on paper the card looks good, but if I take into account the angles of the matches, then it feels like a weak card. Mm-hmm. It's like if I just look at the matches, I'm like, that looks like a solid card. Yeah. But if I'm considering all the storytelling we did to get here, I'm thinking like, well, I don't know how.
I don't think they've done enough.
Sure.
You know? But yeah, I mean, we'll have to see how it all plays out. But I don't know. So, anyways, back to Raw. Rusev defeats Mark Henry again. Lana gets in the ring and slaps Summer Rae, and then calls for Rusev to come into the ring, and that's when Dolph Ziggler makes his return. Yeah, Dolph Ziggler made his return. The crowd goes nuts, and he attacks Rusev after Lana attacks Summer Rae again because Rusev used her as a human shield.
Think we're getting a mixed tag out of this eventually?
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of one of those inevitable things because we're seeing more physicality from Lana. So I feel like it's only a matter of time before they put her in the ring and say, okay, just, have a good tag. But I don't know. I don't even know if she can wrestle.
I don't
know. If
know.
she's more of just a valet kind of thing.
Her super kick was pretty weak sauce.
It was like lower rib area.
Yeah, I don't know.
Although she was in that dress, so maybe
sure.
Give her the benefit of the doubt that caused some difficulty.
Yeah.
I don't know. I just don't know. But after that, we got to see Ryback get a victory over The Miz with Big Show on commentary. This is like 3 matches in a row we've got someone on commentary. Yeah, Ryback defeats The Miz very easily. And then calls out the Big Show, hey, I'm still hungry, feed me more. Big Show's like, nah, I'll wait until SummerSlam. Later.
Nah, I can wait.
Yeah, I can wait a few more days before I take you out. So, yeah, after that, we got to see John Cena and the Seth Rollins contract signing. And it's the first time we've seen Cena at Raw in about a month after the broken nose incident.
It's been about 3 weeks, maybe.
3 or 4, yeah, somewhere around there. And I mean, hats off to the guy for being able to be there. I don't, I think I read that the nasal surgery that he has usually takes 3 to 4 weeks to fully heal.
Mm-hmm.
And I could tell that they had put a little bit of makeup on him to cover some of the bruising.
Oh, really? See, I didn't get that.
It looked like the side of his face was like that yellow tint that you get when the bruising has almost completely gone away, and you're like, is that still a bruise?
Ouch, yes.
Huh?
Ouch, yes, it is.
Yeah. It wasn't dark. It was just that last remaining fade before it's gone.
It's like that blood drying up or whatever.
Yeah, and you could still see a little bit of swelling on the bridge of his nose. but hands off to the doctor, hands off to him for coming back to wrestle this match.
Yeah, see, I thought the Rollins stuff was a weaker version, like a much weaker version of the Punk. You are the establishment guy now.
Mm-hmm.
You're the Yankees. You're
no longer the underdog.
Yeah, I mean, he used a word that I was trying to recall, but I'm blanking on. You're the dynasty. You're not the underdog. You're the dynasty. It was sort of a weaker version of Punk's promo on Cena there. And I thought Cena was really strong here until the end, where I felt like the bitch thing was just like a crutch. Like, he's like, I just really want to pop for saying bitch.
Yeah.
He had me until then, and that just sort of made me roll my eyes, because I was like, you were fine. You didn't need it. You were fine.
It wasn't necessary.
Right.
He did it for that extra factor.
Right.
Drop the mic, walk away kind of thing. Yeah, I totally agree. And they took the focus off of the match and put the focus on Triple H.
Right.
Oh, this is his legacy that we're dealing with now, and that's what you're fighting for. Not the title, not for my title. You're fighting for his legacy.
Right.
So I don't know. Where are they going to go with that?
I think
anywhere.
I think this is match one of a program between the two.
Yeah.
They may not even have a destination set out yet.
Yeah, it's just I don't know. We'll talk about that in a little bit. But next matchup, we got to see Primetime Players teaming up with Lucha Dragons to go up against New Day and Los Matadores. And
this was super short, and basically the whole thing was just Xavier and Torito, which was fine because it was fun. But it was basically just Xavier getting. Well, I don't know. Was Torito sort of like, did Torito get the upper hand? Is that how it ended, or I can't remember.
Yeah, I don't remember.
I remember like Torito attacking him, but I can't. I think he just got the upper hand, and then the rest of the team came up and got his
pull apart.
Yeah, and they just sort of like blew it off that way. But
yeah,
kind
of stupid. But Primetime Players and Lucha Dragons end up getting the victory.
I'm fine with it.
Very short matchup. After that, we got to see Sasha Banks going up against Nikki Bella, and this was the match I was talking about where there was a few miscommunications. There was the spot where Nikki jumped on the second turnbuckle and she did the 180 kick.
Yeah,
completely missed.
To be honest, the match wasn't very good.
Yeah,
Sasha's really good, and Nikki's sort of one of the better main roster girls, and for that they just didn't deliver.
Yeah.
They even lost the crowd to where the crowd was chanting for Lesnar. I get it, like it's his hometown and whatnot, but they just sort of lost the crowd.
And it was getting later in the hour, so it's like, okay, they gotta wrap this up pretty soon, because otherwise we're not going to get to see Lesnar.
Yeah, I mean, I don't put that entirely on them, but like they didn't do much to change the crowd's mind.
Right. Yeah, I feel like it under-delivered. Sasha Banks looked solid enough, but it takes two to tango, and so neither one of them were able to recover the match, I guess. But the ending came when Nikki Bella was going to deliver the rack attack, and Naomi hopped up on the ropes and caused a distraction, and then Sasha put Nikki into the Banks statement, causing her to submit. So she has made the Divas champion submit, and we'll talk about the implications that could have a little bit later on as we talk about our predictions in just a little bit. But the final segment, the reason everyone was tuning in, the homecoming for Brock Lesnar, the face-to-face in the same ring together, Undertaker and Brock Lesnar. And I was cracking up laughing at Paul Heyman singing. He
went fucking big, didn't he?
He did. My goodness, he went big. The tease from the Undertaker, the first one, I was like, okay, they did it to, get Paul Heyman to start talking smack. And then the second one where Undertaker appeared, total heel move by the Undertaker with the low blows and all of that madness. I figured it would have been more of a stare down more than anything. I didn't think it was going to be, a lopsided beatdown on the Undertaker's part. I don't know. What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, he's definitely heel. Dick kick twice now.
You just don't do it. You just don't kick another man in the dick.
Well, I mean, if you're an asshole, if you're the heel, you do, I guess.
Yeah,
but
I guess.
I don't know. Brock was super over. Obviously, his hometown boy, but I think he would have been over anyway. I don't know. Do you think it would have been more split if it had not been in Minnesota?
Yeah.
How do you think the crowd's going to react when we get to the match?
Mm-hmm.
Do you think it's 50-50? Do you think it's 60-40, 70-30? What do you see?
I can see it being about 50-50 because there are those fans who are just going to love The Undertaker no matter what. They're going to be the fans that love Lesnar no matter what. I can see it pretty evenly split, even though they did the hometown beat down of your hero and, boo this man kind of thing to try and get over the fact that Undertaker is working heel in this establishment. I don't know. We'll have to see. But now we got to hear those picks. We got to hear those picks. We got to hear those picks. Kind of weird without Tyler doing that.
It's like off.
It's like, why are we still sitting here doing the clap thing? Yeah. But Tyler's still off on assignment, so hopefully he will be returning to us soon.
Maybe.
Really liked the poster that you did and put up on the Facebook page.
Yeah, it didn't turn out quite like I wanted to, but
you got a couple people biting.
Oh no! I mean, it was not that I was trying to go realistic. It just I don't know. It didn't turn out. I couldn't get it to turn out quite how I envisioned it. But
Gotcha.
I'm not really like a whiz with the
graphics design.
Yeah, and I didn't use Photoshop at all, but I mean, I guess you could lump that stuff in there with it. But.
Mm-hmm. But it worked.
Yeah, sure.
I liked it. Very funny stuff.
I'm sure he got like a giggle out of it, and that's all I was really going for.
If he even saw it.
I thought he did.
Oh, yeah? Did he?
I don't know.
Oh, yeah, he did, because he messaged us. Man, my mind's all over the place. So yeah, we'll kick things off. NXT Takeover happening this Saturday. Special start time, 7:30 Eastern time, so 6:30 here Central. So... because they've got a completely stacked show. I believe 9 matches announced so far, which is quite a big ordeal. Big show.
Yeah.
So we'll kick things off. First matchup, and it's the most recently announced matchup, Eva Marie going up against Carmella. I personally think that this is just a throw-in match. Let's get Eva Marie some more spotlight on her. Give her a chance to show what she can do, sink or swim kind of thing. I think Eva Marie goes over fairly easily.
Yeah, I agree. She's the one they're trying to build. Carmella has wrestled, but she's mostly her focus has mostly been as a second for Enzo and Cass. Yeah. So although that might change with the I guess the women's division in NXT is sort of not depleted, but it took a big hit when they called the other girls up. So maybe she'll be working more. But it just seems like all right, everything has been the focus. So I'll agree that Eva Marie is going to get the W.
Okay. Yeah. So all right, both of us picking Eva Marie to win. Next matchup that's announced: Bull Dempsey going up against Elias Sampson. I don't know. I think with the way that they've been doing the video packages, they're wanting to showcase Bull on this occasion. I think he's going to get the win here.
Yeah, I got to go with that as well. I'm not sure why Sampson would want to get the win in the situation, but yeah, I gotta agree with Bull. He's been the focus.
Yeah. So we'll have to see if Bull is fit, and I know he's got a new.
He's got the shirt, so he better be.
Yeah, he better be. So both of us picking Bull Dempsey on that one. Next up is a 8-man tag match. Enzo Amore, Big Cass, Zack Ryder, and Mojo Rawley teaming up to go up against Jason Jordan, Chad Gable, Dash Wilder, and Scott Dawson. I'm not too sure as to why. I would feel like you've got more character on the face side with Enzo, Big Cass, Ryder, and Rawley. So I'm going to pick them to win on this one.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. It's hard to pick against Enzo and Big Cass, especially after they sort of didn't get the straps. So
Yeah.
it feels sort of weird for them to just be meandering. But do you think these guys are going to get called up soon, or do you think the reason they didn't put the belts on them is because they are going to get called up soon, or do you think it's just they want to play the angle out for a longer period?
It's hard to tell because they're so in tune with the audience. The NXT audience gets them. They understand. It's not always about the in-ring ability. They've got that charisma. They've got the mic skills to hold their own. I don't know how well that would translate going to the main roster where there's people who don't watch NXT who are like, who are these guys?
Right.
Like maybe in time, if they were allowed to blossom, if WWE gave them the opportunity, because we've seen what happens to tag teams where they fall off the wagon. Look at the Ascension, look at Lucha Dragons, look at, pick your poison.
Right.
I feel it's a very delicate procedure that they'd have to do in order for the crowd to get it. I want them to be on there because I want them to succeed, but I don't know when they're gonna, if or when they're gonna do that. So I don't know. And I know that Zack Ryder and Mojo Rawley are starting to come together as a team, forming the Hype Bros, and there was even a little video package last week, or was it this week, where they showed Mojo kind of annoying Zack Ryder because he's overhyped.
Right.
He's like, dude, you've got to calm down. Take it easy. No, man, I can't do that. I'm hyped. So it's interesting to see where that tag team will go.
Yeah, I'm going to go with Enzo and Cass and Hype Bros as well.
Cool deal. So, yeah, not too bad. I'm really looking forward to NXT TakeOver. They always put on really good shows. So next matchup we'll talk about is a fatal four-way matchup between Charlotte, Emma, Becky Lynch, and Dana Brooke. I don't know if there are any implications for this matchup, if it's a number one contenders match, or if they're just having it just to have it.
Well, I think part of it is that so much of what has made NXT a draw has been the women. Mm-hmm. I think it's just a way for them to get the women that were a part of that draw, like on the card still.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's sort of weird. It seems like there's sort of two ways to go with this. One is that you are looking to put either Dana Brooke or Emma over to line her up to face the champion. Whoever comes out as champ once these women are, I say for sure on the main roster and to stay, but I guess there's nothing specifically saying they can't work both shows. But I don't know. Do you get the feeling that it's more of to help the card draw? Is it there to draw crowds because the women of NXT are such a big draw, or is it there to establish a new contender, or is it twofold? Is it both?
I would mostly say that it's there to. I'm gonna go ahead and say who I'm gonna pick to win. I think Dana Brooke is gonna get the victory. I think a victory, saying you have a victory over Becky Lynch, over Emma, over Charlotte, is gonna be a huge rising power, and that'll put her in contention for the NXT championship later on down the road. The crowd loves to boo her, so she makes a perfect heel going up against possible Bayley.
But see, the thing about that is I can see Dana Brooke winning, but I only see her pinning Emma, which is sort of her running mate.
Yeah.
Which, I don't know, maybe that's something they're going to explore storyline-wise, but I find it hard to see her beating Charlotte or Becky.
Right.
Not so much from the old school booking philosophy of these girls are going to move up, so they're going to do the job on the way out, but because they're so integrated into both brands, they want to keep them looking strong for this quote-unquote revolution.
Right. In my head, it's going, Emma hits a finisher on Becky Lynch, goes for the cover, Dana Brooke throws her out of the ring, gets the cover 1, 2, 3, or something along those lines, because Charlotte and Becky are more known for their submissions.
Right.
So I would have to say that Emma gets some sort of situation where it looks like she's going to get the pinfall, but then Dana takes it from her.
Yeah, I'm gonna agree with. I'm gonna take Dana Brooke as well.
Okay.
I think Emma's taking the pin though.
Yeah. We'll have to see how that all plays out. Next matchup, we're going to talk about Samoa Joe versus Baron Corbin. Now, these two haven't had a whole lot of interaction with one another. Baron Corbin, very well known for his short matches. Samoa Joe being very well known for being a tough wrestler, tough competitor. Where do you see this one going?
Well, it's hard for me to envision them doing anything with Corbin because he's so limited outside of winning short matches like all the time. Other than
it really hurts him having those.
Yeah, I mean, I guess there is the possibility that he could get like a full sort of repackage like Bull Dempsey wise if they're just like, hey man, you have to learn to do a little bit more than this. So I guess I could see them if he. I mean, just losing does not mean that he needs like a revamp, but it's hard for that character to work how they've set it up without him winning. And also Joe hasn't really worked that like big program since being brought into NXT, so it's sort of weird to see him go here, and then it would seem weird to me to have him lose as well. It seems like these are both guys who have to win. I don't think Corbin needs to win because I don't think anyone buys him as what they're selling. But, I mean, for them to continue on that path, I think he would need to win. I'm going to take Joe just because I think Joe's the bigger asset. And I think, I don't know why he's here to do jobs to guys like Baron Corbin. He's the value, not Corbin.
And I've talked about it a couple of times over the weeks that I watch Baron Corbin. I watch his entrance, and he just seems so non-emotional, so non-animated. What is your take on Baron Corbin? Because I personally, I don't get it. I don't, okay, I get that he's a big guy. He's got a cool finishing move, but he has, zero animation to him, zero personality. And it's funny because you'll watch a show like Tough Enough where they complain about that. They're like, you got to be animated. You got to have character. You got to have charisma. And yet you turn around and watch someone like Baron Corbin who has zero of that. What's your take on Baron Corbin? Am I wrong here? Or?
I mean, I don't think you're wrong in your assessment of Corbin. As far as what they're looking for, I think there is room for both. I think they do want both. I think he's an example of a guy who really, he's so limited in both in-ring and out of the ring that there's not much more that he can get away with other than what he's doing. I don't think that stoic, silent, emotionless void, doesn't work as a rule. I just don't think it works with him. You have to put a little bit more into it than what he's putting into it.
Yeah, show a little bit of emotion. I mean, it's like, he walks out, the lights go on, which is the big reveal for him, and it seems like he could just as easily be standing in line at the grocery store.
Yeah, I don't think it's emotion necessarily. I think it's maybe a quiet charisma that and not so in your face charisma, but a more laid back charisma that I don't think that he possesses.
Yeah.
I don't know what they have invested in this guy that they're afraid to sort of cut bait with him or whatever, but
he's got something over them.
I wouldn't say that, but I don't know. I don't see the upside, honestly.
I mean, he's a big guy.
Sure, but looks wise, I can see he has a look that they like, but that's the only upside that I see.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm going to pick Samoa Joe to win as well. I just
I wouldn't be shocked if Corbin won. I can't connect those dots in my head why that would make sense.
In my mind, there would have to be some sort of outside interference.
Sure.
To give Corbin the win.
I could see no finish, schmozzy, they brawl to a double DQ or something like that.
Yeah.
Maybe
I could count out or something along those lines.
I could see that.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, all chaos is breaking out here. It's insane. So both of us picking Samoa Joe. Next up, we'll talk about Jushin Thunder Liger going up against Tyler Breeze. Big draw, bringing in Thunder Liger. They've already got some pretty sweet T-shirts made up for him and It's going to be interesting to see. I want to say Liger's going to win, because why would you bring him in just to have him lose to a guy like Tyler Breeze? Like, Breeze has been talking so much smack, give me a great opponent, and this will be a good showing for him. But I feel like you would have more longevity for Breeze giving him the loss to let that sulk in and be like, I'm supposed to be this great guy, and he's struggling with it.
Yeah, I guess there are sort of two ways to look at bringing a guy in and coming in to lose. One example is like Sting, where we at least expect them to do with it more than what they've done so far with him.
Mm-hmm.
So bringing him in to lose doesn't make a lot of sense. Now Liger is all but not all, but it's almost assuredly a one-off appearance. Mm-hmm. So in that, I would see, to me, that is more guy who's sticking around should get the win, because he's the one that's going to benefit from it the most.
Mm-hmm.
So I think it's just like, from all accounts, like Liger can book himself outside of the New Japan office, and him and Regal are boys from back the WCW days. So he was like, "Hey, do you want to work?" And he was like, "Yeah, sure," because he supposedly Liger likes it in the U.S. So I'm calling Breeze. I think he benefits from it the most. And I just think it's like a cool addition that they're trying to.
It's a special attraction.
Yeah, it's an attraction match. Also, they're trying to. They are running against Ring of Honor in the same night, the same market with other New Japan talent. So I think there's more to that as well. But I think Breeze gets the win. I think he benefits the most from it.
He would benefit from it, but I would just think if you're bringing Liger in just for this one appearance, make the crowd happy. I mean, yeah, they'd be happy just to see him,
sure,
just to see him perform. But send them happy, send them home happy on that one.
Yeah, but see, that match isn't in the send them home happy spot.
That's true. All right. Well, I'm going to stick to my guns. I'll say Jushin Thunder Liger gets the win, and Doug picking Tyler Breeze. So one of us is going to be right, probably Doug. Next up, we'll talk about the NXT Women's Championship. Bayley going up against Sasha Banks, and Sasha's involved in the Divas Revolution that's happening over on the main roster right now, and Bayley has had sort of a run lately, defeating past champions, earning her number one contender spot, and she's finally going to get her NXT Women's Championship match against Sasha Banks at NXT Takeover.
Now, before you make any calls, and I'm not trying to sway you one way or the other. I'm just throwing the info out there.
Yeah.
I don't know if you read the spoilers, but both Sasha Banks and Kevin Owens appeared on TV that they've taped that's going to run, quote unquote TV. Mm-hmm. They've taped that's going to run after the special, both with the belts. Both coming to the ring with the belts. Now, is that we're working the fans and we just don't show that when it airs, or is that?
That could easily be a way of making people speculate as to what's going on.
Is that just like disinformation? Is that like sleight of hand? Is that whatever? Mm-hmm. So just so you know, also Johnny Gargano.
So Owens came out with the belt
on the TV that they taped this past week.
Wow.
Owens came out with the belt. Sasha Banks came out with the belt.
Wow.
Now, is that just we're not showing our hand to the fans, and because they can edit the entrances out of TV?
Yeah,
easily.
of course.
Or is that they retain? See. Also, Johnny Gargano, and Tommaso Ciampa worked the TV tapings as a tag team.
Really?
Yes. There's a lot of back and forth. Are these guys? A lot of people think these guys are signed. A lot of people think these guys aren't signed.
Yeah.
So a couple of
could be just an appearance kind of thing.
Well,
tryout.
Well, I watched Evolve 47 and Evolve 48 over the weekend, and Gargano effectively wrapped up all his storylines with Evolve over the weekend, and he did the same with AIW as well. So some people, it's sort of up in the air. A lot of people think he's signed. A lot of people think he's not signed. Who knows? That's just that doesn't have anything to do with the predictions, but it's just like FYI stuff.
Yeah. Oh man,
not only did they work as a tag team, they won as a tag team.
See, now you're throwing like wrenches into my thought process about how the main event's going to go down.
Hey, I'm just trying to give you all the information.
I know.
To base your decision on.
And that was probably the worst decision you could have made because I was like dead set in my mind frame. And now I'm like, all right, now you've caused doubt. And that's never a good thing. Because I was going to say 100% Bayley's going over. So, you know what? I'm going to stick to it. I'm going to say Bayley gets the win here. And the crowd goes wild. I just don't know. We'll talk about the main here in a minute. But I'm going to pick Bayley.
I'm taking Bayley too.
Yeah.
As much as Diva Revolution is a thing on Raw, I mean, if you watched Raw, like Sasha didn't even come out with the belt, and it was a champ versus champ match. Like,
yeah,
it was just as
she's
if
there.
They said she was the NXT Women's Champion, but they didn't even have the belt on her. And did they come back from commercial and she got the no entrance too? Am I making that up?
I think so.
Okay, but either way, so is that how important they like view it? I don't know.
Right.
Who knows? I'm taking Bayley too.
All right, so
that's the story they've built too, you know?
Yeah, exactly. Like this is Bayley's time, you know. She's risen up the ranks and
although I have seen some talk of people like thinking she might be turning heel, so maybe like a way to instigate that as a loss for the title, I don't know. I'm sticking with Bayley.
Yeah. So next up we'll talk about the tag team championships. Vaudevillains going up against Blake and Murphy, and Vaudevillains announced that they have a special weapon to deal with Alexa Bliss. I'm not sure what it could be.
I thought it's totally escaping me, but I thought it was sort of out there who was in their corner.
Who?
I mean, it's escaping me who it was, but I thought I read something today about somebody who they had in their corner. I can't remember though.
I haven't seen anything, but
apologies, but I thought I knew.
I don't know. I don't know who to go on with this one. I'm going to say Blake and Murphy.
I feel like the overarching story, if Enzo and Kaz are going to win the belts, I think they win them from Blake and Murphy because the story's there.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I guess the the pin on that is like, are they gonna win the belts or are they moving up?
Yeah.
I'll say Blake and Murphy as well.
All right. So with that being said, it's time to go into the main event of NXT Takeover: Kevin Owens versus Finn Balor in a ladder match for the NXT Championship. And here is where you caused me to doubt myself by throwing out that information. If Kevin Owens is indeed seen with the NXT title and he does in fact win, I have to think that somehow William Regal is involved in it. Don't ask me why, but that's...
Well, because he got physically involved with Regal.
And so I feel like Regal will, in some form or fashion, maybe even help Kevin Owens get the title. Because Regal is known to be quite villainous.
But Owens put his hands on Regal.
Yeah. And we've seen many times where stuff like that has happened. I mean, heck, look at Lucha Underground with Vampiro. You know, even though that was his own bidding.
Sure.
It could be the same situation and be like, you know what? I see something in you. Maybe Regal takes him under his wing.
But Regal has played it pretty straight as an authority figure.
Yeah.
So far.
But if you have to make me choose right now on the spot, I'm going to say Finn Balor gets the win.
I'm taking Balor as well.
All right.
I think the taping with them having the belts is misdirection.
Yeah, I would think so too. I think this is going to be possibly Owens, the farewell for Owens, so that he can focus more on the main roster. And Finn has said that he wants to stay in NXT, that they're doing great things. So
well, he has to say that he's the face of the brand right now.
Yeah. So I don't want to go up to the main
roster. I
want
want
to
go make a lot more money.
No, I want to stay where I'm at and fight and scratch and claw my way to the top.
Right.
So, I don't know. We'll have to see how it all plays out. Now it's time to talk about SummerSlam. It's going to be taking place after NXT. It's going to be taking place Sunday on the WWE Network. Really,
4 hours.
4 hours. The biggest SummerSlam. So this is going to be a huge wrestling weekend. You've got 2.5 hours for NXT.
It's been a big month because, I don't know, just with the G1, like this month has just been I don't know, awful trying to keep up. Not awful. It's been fun. I enjoyed the shows. It's just been
A hardcore wrestler fan like yourself.
yeah. It's hard to keep up. It's been hard to keep up.
Yeah. So we've got you've been enjoying G1. We've got NXT. We've got SummerSlam. What else is there out there that's out there?
Well, I don't know. Think about Los Angeles. That's not going to be live, but I think that's coming up in the next couple of weeks. I think King of Trios is coming up first week of September. I want to say. I don't know if they're going to do iPay-per-view. Not sure about that. Mostly, I don't know. Mostly last weekend and this week. Last weekend I watched. I think it was day 18 of the G1, and then day 19, which was the finals, which were like both 4.5 hour shows.
God.
And then I got off like because they air live from Japan like in the morning. Like I watched them when I get home from work, and I think Saturday night, whenever I got off work, between that and Sunday when I went to bed, I watched both days of day 18 and the finals of G1, which were 4.5 hours. I watched Evolve 47, which was about a 3 hour show, and Evolve 48, which was about a 3 hour show. And like I was just kind of, my eyeballs were just sort of shot after that.
So your weekend was kind of a blur.
Yeah, I ate a ton of tacos and I watched a ton of wrestling.
Tacos and wrestling. That's a winning combination.
It sounds like a really pathetic weekend, and it is.
No.
It is.
That's pretty awesome.
I'll cop to that, but you know.
Well, cool.
Yeah, I like it.
Yeah.
So,
now we get NXT and SummerSlam this weekend.
Sure.
So that's another 7.5 hours or 6 hours, however long it is. So let's dive into SummerSlam. 10 matches on this 4-hour card. So lots to cover. So we'll kick things off. Dolph Ziggler versus Rusev. This match was kind of thrown together at the last minute. I mean, we've seen this feud build over the past month or two. Very awkward and very odd, and now it's hopefully going to be ending after SummerSlam. I think it would be foolish to have Dolph Ziggler win after Rusev has just been destroying Mark Henry time after time after time. I mean, the crowd is definitely hot for Dolph Ziggler, but I think the booking would be very poor to go in his favor. So I'm going to pick Rusev to win.
I'm going to take Rusev too, but I don't think we're done.
Yeah.
I think clearly they've cooled off on the Lana is going to be a megastar push. Mm-hmm. But I still don't think this angle is over yet. So especially with Ziggler's been out, he just got back.
Yeah, been out filming a movie and
sure. I don't know what else you're going to do with these guys anyway.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'll take a Rusev.
All right. Next matchup we'll talk about is the three diva team elimination match between Team Bella, Team Bad, and Team PCB. This is an elimination match. I don't know what the style is going to be. If it's going to be like
they clarified, it's one pinfall or submission on a team eliminates that team. Not every single person on the team has to be.
Oh, well, that's no fun.
I think it's better because there are 3 girls you have to keep strong, and probably Nikki too. So that way, you can work all that out. And you know who the people that are expendable, which is your Taminas, your Alicia Foxes, your Brie Bellas, they can take falls or whatever you need out of them. And you can keep the girls you need to keep strong.
Yeah. All right. Well, with that being said, I mean that kind of changes things up for me.
Plus, if they did what is it, like 9? If you had to have like 9 eliminations,
8 eliminations,
one
being the winner,
they would end up giving them like 2 minutes between falls. It would just be terrible. It'd just be like fall. It would be one of those
finisher pin.
Yeah, I think it works out for the best this way.
Okay. Well, with that being said, who do you think will be the last team standing?
I think PCB.
Yeah.
Is more specifically, I think Charlotte's going to be, if not the last person for her team, at least the person who scores the winning fall for her team.
Mm-hmm.
And I have not decided if Charlotte pins Nikki and that sets up the singles match for Night of Champions, or they do a thing where the sort of lackey third wheels for the teams take the falls, and then you keep all of the NXT women strong and Nikki strong, and you do like a 4-way for the title that way.
Yeah.
So I think it's either a 4-way or Charlotte and Nikki, and I'm not really sure. What are your thoughts on that?
I'm curious as to how. Before I talk about that, I'm curious as to how this match is going to work. Is it going to be a 1-on-1 with tag-ins, or is it going to be like a triple threat? There's 3 people in the ring, and they can tag their respective partners.
I don't think that they've clarified.
Yeah, so we'll have to see how that all plays out. As far as future planning, I can definitely see Charlotte versus Nikki. They're building towards that. They're trying to make Charlotte look strong. However, you can easily say, well, Sasha just got a victory over the Divas champ this week on Raw. Charlotte's been booked very strong. I mean, you can put
hasn't Becky beat her as well? I want to say
so.
I want to say all the NXT women have a fall over her, and that's why I was like, maybe they're going to go.
Easily be a fatal 4-way. But going into this particular matchup with the rules now being somewhat clarified, who do you think is going to be the sole or the remaining team to get the victory?
PCB wins.
PCB. I'll agree with that. I feel like Tamina's going to be the one pinned on her team.
Yeah.
And then, like you said, maybe Nikki takes the pin.
Well, she doesn't. Have to. If you're gonna do the singles match, I think she takes the fall because it specifically says Charlotte pinned Nikki, so she should get a title shot.
Right.
But we've already had other people pin her, like Sasha just pinned her. So now I'm leaning more towards
Sasha submitted her.
Sure.
Yeah.
Now I'm leaning more towards Fatal 4-Way with all the NXT women having a pinfall over her or a fall over her.
Yeah.
And so you don't necessarily need her to take the fall in that situation because they've already had their falls over her. So PCB's winning there, no doubt.
All right. So I'll agree with you on that one. I think Team PCB gets the win over Team Bella and Team Bad. Next matchup we'll talk about Kevin Owens versus Cesaro. And I know this should be a fairly good matchup because Cesaro can work Owens' style and vice versa. These two know each other on the road from their days in the indie scenes. So what do you think? Where's this one going?
I think it'll be a good match, but I'm not sure who's winning, and I'm not sure who should win. I don't know who needs it more. Owens feels like he needs a big win coming off of the big losses that he's had to stay relevant. Cesaro is fresh in his push, so he feels like he needs momentum as well to get to the next level or to a higher level.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. Do you do a no finish? How do these guys...
I don't want a no finish, but you also need a no finish to keep both of these guys strong, to elevate these guys. I don't know. I feel like this is Cesaro's rise now. The fans are getting behind him. You're seeing all of the Cesaro section signs out there. The fans are chanting Cesaro. They're solidly behind him. Whereas Kevin Owens, he's doing a great job as a heel, but it seems to have vastly fizzled out after his matchup with John Cena, his last match with John Cena.
Who needs it? Who do you think needs it more?
They both need it.
Sure.
It's vital to both guys. Yeah. That's what makes it tough. It's because you don't want to see Cesaro lose any momentum, but you also don't want to see Owens lose any more than he already has.
I guess if you're going to really argue it, you could say Cesaro's momentum hasn't been established yet because while he's been more over and the crowd has been more behind him, it's not like he's won any big matches. He lost all those matches to Cena. So I guess technically he doesn't have real momentum. I mean, he has momentum to lose.
He needs to beat the man who beat Cena.
Sure. I'm going to say Owens just because I feel like, I don't know. They both need it. I don't know why I feel like Owens needs it more. I'm not even sure that he really does need it more.
Yeah.
I just, I can't really work out in my head who to go with. I'm just going to say Owens.
Yeah, it's a coin toss on this one. It's hard to pick a winner, but I'm going to go with Cesaro just so there's a little bit of a differential there.
Cool.
Next up, let's talk about the Tag Team Championship. It's a fatal four-way matchup. Primetime players, Los Matadores, Lucha Dragons, and The New Day.
Oh, please tell me you saw the promo from SmackDown with New Day.
I did not.
I can't recount it. I won't ever do it any justice, but it was awesome. Go to your way to see it. I think they even clipped it out for like WWE.com or something.
Oh, nice. You'll have to make sure and go and check it out. I feel that New Day has gained so much momentum. They're getting such a reaction from the crowd. They're the hottest tag team in the WWE right now. I feel like New Day has to win the titles here.
Yeah, I'm right with you. I don't think they need them, but I think they deserve them, if that makes any sense. And
they've earned it back.
Sure, yeah. Dude, don't get me wrong. I like primetime players a lot. But, man.
Who's done more in the time frame given?
Sure, I mean.
It's New Day, hands down.
New Day all day. I mean, they've been awesome. So.
All day, every day.
Yeah.
So
kudos to those guys.
Yeah. So both of us picking.
Dude, did you hear? Did you hear? Okay, look, I'm back on I tried the Jericho podcast again.
Oh yeah.
Because New Day was on it, and their episode, he had all three of them on at the same time. Oh my
goodness.
And it was really, really entertaining. Not just entertaining, but all three of the dudes like endeared themselves like completely to me. They were just seemed like the coolest dudes. Go listen to Talk Is Jericho that New Day was on. Worth a listen.
Very cool. We'll have to see how that show is and how the matches play out. Next matchup, we're going to talk about a celebrity appearance. Stephen Amell, is that right? Say that right?
I think so.
Teaming up with Neville to go up against Stardust and the Cosmic King Wade Barrett. Where do you see this one going? I know it's rumored or said that Stephen Amell from Arrow is going to be wearing his Arrow uniform, and in fact, he's going to be debuting his new uniform for the second season of Arrow for this matchup. But what are your thoughts on the match? Who do you think is going to win?
I mean, look, Stephen Amell and Neville, no question.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not even a possibility. Let me put it to you.
But they've been booking Barrett so well.
Let me put it to you this way, Daniel. How many wins at WrestleMania? And I know this isn't WrestleMania, but I'm making it work with me. I'm going to make it a larger point. How many wins at WrestleMania does Sting have? That
would be 0.
How many wins at WrestleMania does Snooki have?
I would believe that was 1.
All right. That's my point.
So Snooki has one more WrestleMania victory than Sting.
It's not necessarily that she has one more. It's that
she has one.
Snooki has a
0.
WrestleMania win. Yeah. Sting has 0.
Yeah.
That's my point.
Okay. Yeah. I see where you're going. Yeah. Yeah. David Arquette has been a heavyweight champion.
Sure.
Okay.
I'm not even mad. I like this tie-in. I'm not even mad at it.
Yeah, they've done it very well.
Yeah.
You know, they
heard the dude got busted up training for it.
Yeah, like cracked his jaw or something like that.
Something like that.
Not dropped the weight on it or something. But it's really great to see a celebrity guest appearance who is actually excited to be there. They want to be in the ring. They want to compete.
Taking it serious.
He's actually taking it seriously. Absolutely. As serious as a comic book hero actor as a comic book hero can take a super villain who blows star glitter from his hands.
Hey, my man, superheroes are serious business.
They absolutely are. But yeah,
you can tell the difference between who showed up to guest host Raw to cash a paycheck and who's there because they want to be there.
Absolutely.
The dude's there because he wants to be there.
Yeah.
It makes a lot of a difference.
So the Green Arrow and Red Arrow getting the victory on this one. That's where we're both going with this. Next matchup, we're going to talk about Bray Wyatt teaming up with Luke Harper to go up against Dean Ambrose and Roman Reigns. And I know there's a lot of speculation going on about where Dean Ambrose is in his career right now. Have you heard anything about that?
Maybe I'm just...
that there's a possible heel turn on the way.
Oh well, I heard it put like who's turning? Is it Dean turning or is it Roman turning?
Yeah.
I think what we're trying to get at is that we're saying the Wyatt family is going to win.
Wyatt family picking to win. Yes.
But, okay, so who you taking a turn? You think Ambrose is turning? Because I could see Roman getting a heel run before.
Yeah, they would both do well. They have done well as heels. I think Roman could use a refresher more than Ambrose. And Ambrose could be that devastated guy once again, like my brother has turned on me. The one guy who I have left in this world to trust has just turned his back on me.
See, he's already the sort of walk alone outsider.
Mm-hmm.
He got burnt twice. He'll never trust anyone ever again.
Absolutely.
I could see it being Roman.
Yeah. It could.
Plus, they've really focused on Dean sort of being there for him.
Yeah.
So that just makes it all more like play.
Even on Raw, sitting at
Sure.
the announce table, making sure he's keeping an eye on Bray, and even be like, he's not doing anything. This is kind of boring. Like I'm waiting for him to do something so I can attack him.
So I'm gonna call Roman turns. Then.
Yeah. Do you think it's gonna happen at SummerSlam?
Yeah, I think so.
Really? Yeah.
I mean, I think the Wyatts win, and then I don't know if it's sort of the out. Like the aftermath of the match that turns him, or if he turns him.
I think it has to be an aftermath turn. Bray Wyatt once again gets Roman Reigns' number. Roman can't get the win, even with his buddy Dean Ambrose.
Right.
Causes him to go mad and turn on his former friend. So both of us picking the Wyatt family to get the win, with a possibility of Roman Reigns turning heel. So we'll have to see how that plays.
You were about to sell me on an Ambrose turn, and I sold you on a Roman turn.
You did.
All right.
You were very good. I like that. Next matchup, we'll talk about Randy Orton versus Sheamus. These two have had a feud. These two have had several matches over the past few years, dating all the way back to, I believe, 2010.
This could go either way.
It really could.
This is like another coin flip. Like, I can see them having Sheamus win just because he's already been beaten by Orton, and I can see them continuing the trend of we like for our Money in the Bank got to lose matches.
Right.
Because for whatever reason, they believe that makes it more of a surprise whenever he does cash in.
Yeah.
I think that's
He can't buy a win. Oh, wait. Yeah, he can. Here it is right here.
Sure. I think that's a bunch of crap, but I think that's bad booking. But
yeah.
I'm not running $1 million company. A multi-billion dollar, whatever it is, a lot of money of a company.
Yeah, whole lots of money. So, anyone leaning towards the other?
Do you think do you think there's any possibility of a cash in?
No.
Okay, then, because if there was going to be a cash in, you'd probably say Orton for sure.
Oh yeah. I still think Orton's gonna win, just because of going with the let's book Mr. Money in the Bank poorly.
I'll take Sheamus just to mix it up.
All right.
I would not be surprised at all if Orton wins there.
Yeah. Next matchup, we'll talk about Intercontinental Championship match. Big Show versus Ryback versus The Miz, in one of the matches that not too many people are really caring about.
Can I just say that I feel like this has been one of the tougher overall cards to call in recent times?
I'll agree with that. There's
a lot of
toss-ups.
This could go either way.
Yeah. Owens and Cesaro, the match we just talked about, Sheamus and Orton, and now this triple threat match. Even the Divas match a little bit was kind of a toss-up.
I'm not 100% sold New Day's winning. I just think that's the best direction.
Yeah. So it's a triple threat match. This is Ryback's first real test. But who you gonna go with?
Taking the Miz. I don't know why. I'm just taking.
See,
the Miz.
I'm agreeing with you on that one, because for some reason, I feel like he's gonna get the win. As I was watching Raw this week, I'm like, there's a reason why they're still keeping him around, and we haven't seen Damian Sandow in a number of weeks.
Right.
It's just one of those things. He's got that villainous way where he knows how to work a crowd. He makes a great heel. Well, I say great, but
people like to hate the guy.
Exactly. They don't feel like he belongs there, which is why they boo him, which is what makes him a better heel.
See, I think the thing that I think that there is about The Miz is that if he's low on the card, he's a guy people love to hate. But if he's higher on the card, he gets like, go away, get off my TV. Like, he's like too prominent. You're like, no, just get him off my TV.
Yeah.
But if he's just sort of milling around somewhere that's not a lot of focus, people just can enjoy hating him or whatever.
Right. And Big Show had an interview this past week where he said he wants to take some time off. Like, he doesn't want to do full time anymore.
Didn't he just get back from the movie or whatever?
He did. And
he wants to be a part time. He needs to be a part time.
Yeah, he's saying the world has seen enough of me. Like, he's admitting it. He's
Right.
like, they've seen too much. I'm on TV way too much.
Right.
I don't want to do that anymore. I'll make my appearances. Hey, that's fine. Hey, guys, remember me. I'm the Big Show. I'm 7 feet tall.
And people will be happy to see him when he comes back.
Absolutely. And
But with him and Kane, that stretch where him and Kane were so prominent on TV, it was like, oh, no.
he doesn't want to do that anymore. He was like, when my contract expires, I don't think I'm going to be wrestling anymore, with the exception of, an appearance here or there.
Sure.
But he's like, I want to do stuff backstage. I want to help out. He's like, I still want to be involved in the WWE. I'm fine taking a lighter load.
Yeah. Ship him down to NXT.
Yeah.
Let him teach Baron Corbin how to be a big man.
That would be good. So yeah, for some strange reason, I'm picking The Miz to win, as are you. So we'll have to see.
I don't really have any logic there. I just that's my shot.
I'm leaning towards him. I don't know. Maybe Big Show hits the KO punch, or I don't know.
Maybe Big Show KO punches them both and just like, I'm out of here, and walks out of the company.
I don't need the title. Whatever. Later.
I don't even care.
Should we do the main draw, or should we do for the title? What do you think?
Yeah, let's do the title.
All right.
I mean, Brock and Taker is the main event without question.
You sure?
I'm positive.
Okay.
You don't think Brock and Taker is the main event?
I mean, it's a big match, no doubt.
It's the biggest match on the card.
It's the biggest match that they're hyping, but you've got title for title. Why is that not
Doesn't
the
matter.
more prominent? I mean, obviously, what closed out Raw? Undertaker and Lesnar. What was the start of the final hour of Raw? John Cena and Seth Rollins. So you obviously know where it is on the card, but it's sort of like, this should be a huge matchup between Cena and Rollins, unless they're going with a no finish of some sort.
I think no finish is entirely in the question.
Yeah.
Because if it's a program, there's no reason they can't, because it's technically their first meeting.
Mm-hmm.
Plus, that could give them some space to get the title for title thing out of the question.
Yeah.
Plus, with it not being the main event, they can hopefully give a definitive finish to one of these special event main events.
Mm-hmm. Sheamus cashes in, hopes to try and get both of them, but he gets pinned, so no one wins title for title. What would they do in that situation? First person to get a pinfall or submission wins both titles?
Well, I guess it depends on if he
Or would they say,
did he insert himself into the match, or did he pick the dead bodies like a vulture or whatever? I guess there's a difference, because we've seen both.
Mm-hmm. But if he were to insert himself into the match, would that cancel out the United States Championship and only make it for the WWE Championship?
I think they can make that mean whatever they want it to be.
Absolutely. It's whatever they want it to be.
Right.
It's up to interpretation. I don't want Cena to win. I don't want Rollins to have the U.S. title. So where do they go? I feel like they have to have a no finish of some sort, to where both guys keep their respective titles. Yeah. I really feel that's the best and only option.
Yeah, I'm gonna go no finish as well. If we get a finish, I think it's Cena.
As much as we hate no finishes, I would be okay with this one.
Well, I sort of feel like Owens and Cesaro could do without a finish.
Yeah.
Well, I'm gonna go no finish. Some sort of shenanigans. I don't know exactly. If we do get one, I think Cena's the one who's taking them both. But,
it's Kane. So, all right.
Oof, man.
He's coming after Rollins, and that's who we get to see fight Seth Rollins at Night of Champions.
No, thank you. I'll take anything over that. Anything.
All right. Well, now it's time to talk.
Don't put Kane on my TV.
It's time to talk about the main event: Brock Lesnar versus The Undertaker. The match.
Kane needs to walk off, holding hands into the sunset with a Big Show, and never be seen again.
So, it's the match that's too big for WrestleMania. It's 16 months in the making, and it's finally going to be over. I'm ready for this to be over. Brock Lesnar versus Undertaker. What you got?
Well, before I say that, I'm going to say I think we're getting them again at WrestleMania.
Oh, don't say that.
And I don't know how we're getting there. We're either getting Taker wins, and so they feel like they've got one apiece, and they want to finish, see who's the overall, or Brock beats them both, and he feels like that's the last thing he's got to prove to anybody is that he can beat Brock Lesnar, and then maybe that's the match at WrestleMania. I feel like they're leaning towards this.
No.
I don't know.
No.
Who do you have? I'm a little bit undecided.
I'm going Brock Lesnar all the way. I feel, this is supposed to be Lesnar's face run. Undertaker is fully playing heel.
Yeah, he's totally baby.
I mean, 2 low blows, come on. Not to mention that they completely healed it up this past week on Raw in Lesnar's hometown.
They love to beat up guys in their hometowns. That's all okay.
Yeah. But I mean, the low blow twice in a row, I feel like something like that's going to happen, but he's going to wear a cup this time and be like, I outsmarted you this time, did a man. Anyways, that's neither here nor there. But I feel Lesnar has to get the win here. I feel he has to. Undertaker doesn't need the win. It's not going to do him any good.
Undertaker doesn't need it, and it's not going to do anything for him.
The only thing it's going to say
what is it going to do?
Yeah, the only thing it's going to say story-wise is he got his revenge. But it's not. He's not getting his revenge because there's still a 1 in his loss record for WrestleMania.
Well,
so
there's no the revenge is nothing because he got beaten fair and square.
Yeah.
The only he was mad about the gloating, okay, which is whatever. I mean, Brock is totally the babyface. He is basically your uncrowned champion. He was going to win the strap, and then Taker screwed him over, and then
maybe we'll see Lesnar Rollins 2 at Night of Champions.
I don't know. I'm going to take Lesnar as well.
Yeah.
I don't know if he's getting back in the title picture because I don't know what his dates are looking like. Is he going to go away for a little bit or what?
I don't know, but we'll have to see how it all plays out. But I have to say, those were some great picks.
And
with that being said, it's time to go into the Q&A portion of the show. Your questions, our answers. First question come to us from Richard saying, legends may die, but will never be forgotten. Great show last week. Rest in peace, Hot Rod. Quick question, guys. Do you think Stardust will ever go back to being Cody Rhodes? And if so, when?
Yeah, thanks, Richard. Yeah, I think he'll be back to Cody Rhodes eventually. I don't know. I can't put like a
timetable.
Yeah, exact timetable. I just think that Stardust only has so much legs in it, and sooner or later, it'll get old and it'll get stale. To me, it's already old and stale. I understand some people still like it.
Yeah.
But I think it's already expired.
Maybe the Arrow will take care of that.
Maybe so. Maybe.
We'll have to see how that all plays out. But thanks for the question, Richard. Final question coming to us from Parker saying, hey guys, don't worry, no rant, just questions. And he has 4 questions for us this week. Saying question 1, do you think...
Taking a fucking test, Parker? Come on.
Yeah. Saying, question 1, do you think the Cesaro-Owens feud could elevate Owens higher if he had won the U.S. title? We'll take it one at a time.
Do you mean Dan...
Yeah, would this be more important, I guess, if Owens had won the U.S. title?
Is it more important? Can he be elevated more from facing Cesaro than from winning the title? Is that what you're saying? Then he would have been winning. Read the question one more time.
Do you think the Cesaro-Owens feud could elevate Owens higher than if he had won the U.S. title?
No.
No?
Cesaro's just not there yet. Cesaro's a hot act that has good matches, but ultimately... in the kayfabe sense, Cesaro doesn't mean nearly as much as John Cena. He just doesn't.
Okay. Question 2. I heard rumors that Owens would interfere in the Brock Lesnar Undertaker main event. Do you think it's true, and would you like to see an Owens Lesnar feud?
I have a hard time seeing that being true. I mean that is a good way to get him hot again, but I just have a hard time believing that. I don't know why.
Yeah.
And I'm not necessarily sure that I want to see Owens and Brock. I think we've sort of talked about this before. At least I have. That I don't know that their styles like complement each other.
It would be a strange sight to see, that's for sure. Third question saying, is there a Sports Beaumont app? Yes, there is, actually. If you search Sports Radio Beaumont on your smartphone device, there should be the Sports Radio Beaumont logo, and it's a free app that you can download on your smartphone device. And question 4, are the radio shows on demand? Thanks, and keep up the good work. As of this time, no. It is just a one-and-done kind of show, but we are going to be working on getting something like that a little bit later on down the line to where people can go back and re-listen to them and enjoy the shows. But anytime we do predictions, like this week, what you hear on the radio show is also what you hear on the podcast this week.
We do the best we can to vary the content between the two shows.
Mm-hmm.
But when something as big as like, I guess like a pay-per-view happens, that sort of takes precedence. Like, we sort of expect that people who listen to both shows want to hear that, so we carry that over. Most weeks the content varies though.
Right. We've sort of removed the Hot Topics section from the podcast and turned that into the Sports Radio Beaumont radio show.
Yeah. A good way to sort of think about it is, with the exception of predictions, the podcast is more like analytical, like breaking down things, and the radio show is more topical. Yeah, it's like a topical thing.
Yeah. So, but yeah, thank you very much for listening to both the podcast and the radio show. For those of you who are listening who do not know about our radio show, we do have a show here locally that you can listen to online. Go to sportsradiobeaumont.com or the Sports Radio Beaumont app. Our show airs Thursday afternoons, 5 p.m. Central Time, so adjust your clocks accordingly. So that's going to do it for us this week. Hopefully SummerSlam is a good show, so we'll have lots to talk about next week, as well as NXT TakeOver. Make sure to comment on our Facebook page. Let us know what you think as far as our predictions. Same for our YouTube page. If you have a question or if you have a comment, make sure to leave those on our YouTube channel, WNS Video, also our Facebook page, WNS Podcast. Check us out on WrestlingNewsSource.com and WrestlingNewsSource.com on Facebook, and subscribe to us on iTunes or Stitcher or Beyond Pod or Player.fm.
All them fucking podcasts.
All those podcast places. Just search Wrestling News Source Podcast.
And you can follow the podcast on Twitter. It's at WNS Podcast, and Daniel himself is at WNS_Daniel.
There you go. So, I hope you all enjoy NXT TakeOver and SummerSlam. For the podcast crew, I am Daniel Herron.
I'm Doug.
And we will catch you all next week.
Bye.